What up, boys, and welcome back to another video. So as always, on Mondays we'll go through the mailbox, we'll see how much gold I made on Transmog, and then we'll go through the questions that you guys left on previous week's video. So if you guys got any questions whatsoever, just leave them down in the comment section, and if you happen to see a question that someone else has asked that you find interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I can see that there's a lot of people interested in that question, because we can't go through all the questions in the video. But before we go over to the questions, we're going to go through the mailbox. And I actually had the 360 sales this week, which is really good. But I can look at the first 50 and it's only 44,000 gold. So it doesn't necessarily have to be good. It can just be like a bunch of these crafted glad gear. And sure, I mean, it does add up to some value. But 360 auctions sold, shit ton of auctions. It doesn't mean that it's going to result in a lot of gold. But I'm only going to mention the items worth mentioning if something is, outside of the normal, like if I sold an item for way less or way more, and any big sales, we're going to go through that. But like the first 50 auctions, just a mix of farmed and crafted transmog. Nothing of interest at all. So hopefully that's going to change though. Because I've had 120 auctions in 1 week, which gave me like 700,000 gold. And I've had 410 auctions, which gave me less than 400k. So, but 360 auctions though, regardless, is good. 90,000 gold on these 50. Crawl blades, someone bought 2 of these. And someone bought 2 dazzling longswords. Well, 2 people or 1 guy. Let's see. Actually, the same guy probably bought it to reset the price of it. But 90,000 gold. Dazzling Longsword. I receive a lot of Dazzling Longsword from doing Saltstone Cave in Thousand Needles. So obviously you can do it for hours after hours and not even get an epic. And when you do get an epic, it has to be the correct one. It has to be the Dazzling Longsword. There's a lot of epics that can drop, like world drops from the Saltstone Cave. But they're all mostly shit. That's a good one though, decent at least. But so far we have 135,000 gold, roughly. And I'm aiming for 500,000 gold. Like if I can get 500,000 gold out of my transmog sales in a week, I'm super happy with that. Seeing that I only repost my items 3 times a week. 48 hours, wait until they expire, repost them, wait until they expire, repost them. So it's a horrible tactic. Let's see. Which fairy world drop? But nothing interesting again. And once again, only 45,000 gold for 50 auctions. Absolutely horrible. So that's what I meant with it, that I don't necessarily need to, I'm not necessarily going to make a lot of gold, even though I sell a lot of transmog. But like all of these sales, there's a lot of people who won't, they fucking refuse to post transmog items that are less than 1,000 gold. Well, I make a lot of gold, as you guys can see, on selling transmog that is beneath 1,000 gold. It adds up really quickly. We've got 210 auctions left though, but only 180,000 gold so far. So if the average is 1,000 gold on the transmog items, we're almost at 500k. Please be better than that though. Oh my god. Less than 40,000 gold on this clean out. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if it's a combination between a lot of people coming back to the game due to the classic beta and or if it's just I think it's a combination of that actually. More people are coming back to the game, possibly. Because I know that a lot of my viewers have noticed more sales this week. But also a lot of competition. Like the transmogs of my realm, the value on them just keeps on going down and down and down. It's like they never stop going down. So I might have to change realm soon. 160 auctions left. And we're over halfway through. We only made like right above 200,000 gold. No buenos. I mean, you never know. Might be a good sale. All you need is usually is that one big sale within those 50, and actually 109,000 gold. How come? I sold Rage Steel, crafted blacksmithing, Rage Steel, both gloves and breastplate. So at least yeah, we're at above 300,000 gold now. Now we're closing in. If the next 50 cleanouts are at 100k too, then we're fine. Then we're all good. Please. But once again, a shit ton of... a lot of these are crafts though. Most of them are crafts. Because I craft absolutely everything that's going to yield me a profit. I don't look at sell rate when it comes to crafted transmog. As long as it gives me a profit crafting it, I will craft it and I will sell it. And sometimes if I have farmed materials myself, I don't even look at the profits. Like, there's a lot of times crafting the more expensive transmog where I would have made more gold if I just sold the materials. But I crafted instead and try to push the others off the market so I can reset the price. And now the mailbox, there we go. 40, oh my god. Yeah. There's still hope. There's still hope. Yeah. Oh. We're going to be at like 370,000 gold. With like 60 auctions left. We need a good clean out. If we don't get a good clean out on the last 60 auctions, we're screwed. Come on. Next 50 auctions. Just one big ticket item. Just one. Just that one. Come on. $46,000. $45,000 actually. Nothing worth mentioning. There's 20 auctions left though. It's doable. It is doable. Not likely, but I think we need like 90,000 gold. Or something like that. 80,000 maybe. To get to the 500k gold. Yeah. Like roughly 80,000 gold on 20 auctions. 10 auctions, never mind. 10. Oh my god, we're screwed. We're screwed. I think I would have recalled selling a big ticket item like that. Because I normally do check the mailbox when I do expires and so on. I notice the sales in between. Actually, 18k on only 10 is not that bad. But it's not going to help us. Alright. Almost 450,000 gold though. It's better than last week, so I don't really mind, man. Good enough. But now we're going to move over to the most interesting part, the questions. So, question number 1 is, how long should you farm a certain dungeon, say RFK or Wailing Caverns, dungeons with large loot table, yeah, before the amount of duplicates you're getting start heavily influence your ability to sell said transmog? This is really hard. I mean, to be able to do it, I wouldn't say perfectly, but do it extremely well, you need to be aware of all the items that can drop, right? Let's say you go and do RFK, but you have no clue what drops in RFK, right? You don't really know what items you're missing. And that's where I have like the slight advantage. I pretty much remember almost the entire loot table of all the dungeons that I do. So I can do it and I know what items are missing, right? And if it's only like 3 to 4 items that I really want to put up in the auction house, and they're hard to get, low drop chance, and I'm running RFK, and I'm just getting duplicates on top of duplicates, there's no point in using all your energy in that dungeon. So I think the best way for you guys to do it, if you're starting out and you're going to do dungeons to fill up the auction house, is by setting yourself an X amount of times you can actually do it until you're bored. Let's say it's 50 runs. You do a dungeon 50 times, and then you switch dungeon. Do it 50 times, switch dungeon, and then you go back to the original one once you've done 50 runs, and you do like 20 or 30 runs of it, and you just keep on doing like that. Because there's no way in hell that it's going to be efficient doing 200 runs of Sulfuric, getting only duplicates because you're hunting for a couple of items. Like, you're going to make way more gold if you step into a different dungeon with a completely different loot table. So I don't think there's a set amount of runs you should do, but like 50-ish. Then again, it depends on RNG. It really, really does. But 50. Everyone can remember 50. Do it 50 times. Next question. Student, how do you separate all your sales from expires? I run into trouble when I expire, stuck between a lot of sales. Yeah, I post all my auctions at the same time, right? So I post my auctions always at the same time. If I'm doing a farm and I send a couple of transfer items over to my bank, I don't post them until I have all the expired auctions happening. So I'm posting all my items at the same time, and therefore the sales will always be at the bottom and the expired auctions will be on top of it. That's why I can take out only sales from the mailbox. 18 upvotes for this one. I've answered this one a lot of times though. Well, not specifically the second part of it, but are you going to do gold farming for classic videos? Yes, I will. Lots of them, like a shit ton. Since transmog isn't a thing, what will you focus on if you do? It's a big list. It's a giant list. I did start working on the farming list a couple of months ago. I'm gonna do some more work on it, and I'm not gonna show you guys just the entire list of farms that I'm planning on doing. Like I write it in Norwegian, I give myself notes, etc., etc. But I will pump out gold farming guides in classic while leveling and after getting to 60, because there's a lot of grinding to do, and you can combine it with gold farming in some zones and so on. So I think it's going to be really, really interesting. Stay tuned for that. Next one, can you do 100 runs of Dead Mines? I had to include this one. 5 people upvoted it, and the thing is, I'm gonna get to every single dungeon in the game eventually. I'm just holding off the dungeons that I pretty much know is shit, or the dungeons that I really, really hate. But yes, eventually, man, eventually. And then we have my favorite questions. I mean, it's not really a question though, but this guy is saying, dude, you're bullshitting or something. I've done some of your farms you recommended, and I got nowhere near the amount of gold you get. I know the auction house prices change, but it's nowhere near, dude. So before I read all the comments and all of that, but before I read the comments, my first thought was exactly that. Like, you've done a couple of farms, you threw it up in the auction house, you expected to sell, and you expect to make as much gold as me. But you didn't keep in mind that I've done probably 700 times like the actual farm. I've spent 700 times as much time as you have farming the transmog. I have, you probably have 50, a wild guess, 60 auctions. I got like 2.2 to 2.5k at all times, and they all sell. It's not like I post random bullshit items that sells like extremely slow. It's like the guy is saying, Nat Mack in the first comment, how many auctions do you have up at a time? He has about 2.2 to 2.5k. Might have something to do with it. However, it's not like the farmed items sell. I can have them up for 48 hours without anyone buying it. Clayton answers, it takes a lot more than posting once for 48 hours. That's why he has volume, and this is really important. The original poster then said, is it normal for you to sometimes not being able to sell within the 48 hours? And do you use any add-ons that makes it faster, easier to post? I'm pretty sure that we all use TSM, but it takes way more than 48 hours of posting. This is really important before stepping into the transmog market, that you realize how slow transmog sells. If you have an item that had a 0.01% sell rate, I mean, you have it right in front of you. The item is not supposed to sell on average within a day, right? If you have 50 of those items, you're not guaranteed to get a sale daily. Not even with 50, right? If you have that low sell rate. So that is why if you post one item individually, just one transmog item with such a bad sell rate like that, you can wait for months until it sells. Let's say that one of your transmog items should sell every 20 days, right? Every 20 days, you should get one sale of those items, right? But if you have 20 items with the same sell rate, you should get a sale daily. And then if you have 200 of that, you should get 10 daily, and so on and so on. So the definition is, I realized that this guy is frustrated about it, and he's not alone. There's probably a lot of people frustrated about this. They see people make like a farming video on transmog. They go out, they farm it, they get like 10, 15 items, they throw it up in the auction house, 48 hours, doesn't sell. They post it again, doesn't sell. So transmog is definitely the farm that takes the most time, dedication. Like you gotta pop your auction house, you gotta fill it up with transmog, a shit ton of transmog, in order for you to get frequent sales. So you just, Mr. Matt XE 9212, you just haven't done it enough. You need to get way more transmog up in the auction house, and I can guarantee you that you will get frequent sales, like, eventually. But that was it for today's video. It was a long video. If you guys liked it, remember to press that thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, bye bye.